One community of learners. Integration opportunities for students with moderate to severe disabilities. Everyone is different and yet still the same in so many ways. And isn't that what makes life wonderful and exciting? We look different, talk different, come from different places in the world, like different things, play different sports, and we all learn differently. Our differences make us who we are. As a society, the more we understand about our differences, the more we can appreciate and accept them. From the day we are born, we start to learn and grow and become who we are going to be. We enter school and continue into a life of adulthood. We all learn in our own way and at our own pace, and we all want to fit in and be a part of life going on around us. We all have our own special needs, and we all need help sometimes. The way we grow up and who we are around will affect who we are going to become and how we will benefit from and contribute to our community.
It really brings out the best in the other kids, and I'm seeing that more as Sean gets older. Now that the other kids are getting older, they really take care of him. And the teachers are good about sitting him next to students who are more nurturing. And there's no shortage of them. And she mixes it up throughout the classroom, so he'll have a new sort of seatmate. And that seatmate, over the years, has come, like, that role has expanded so that his seatmate does more reminding of, hey, Sean, you know, can you do your work, right? You need to focus, than the aide does. And that's not to say, I don't think it detracts from that kid's learning, right? That's not her job. But I think it does really foster this sense of community. You know, we take care of kids who need help. And the fact that he's grown up with these kids also has been really wonderful. They know him, and he's part of them.
How do you want your child's school experience to be? Do you want them to have a range of experiences with peers? They will learn new things, inspire new ideas, help create new goals, and teach each other something new every day.
I had them integrate with my other students on group projects. They have become part of the team. In the beginning, when they were forming groups, some of the students were a little reluctant to put them on their team, but now they've embraced them, and they're part of the music videos, the public service announcements that we do, and the commercials.
Today we will explore the unique talents, strengths, and needs of all children. Everyone needs help now and then, but we are all considered part of a school community. All of our children have the right to an education and the opportunity to interact with their peer age groups. And what grade are you in?
Senior.
You're a senior?
Uh-huh.
Could you tell us some of the classes that you take here?
Miss Morris. Huh? Cooking.
Our schools are changing, and we as a society are growing as we continue to promote a safe and healthy environment for all children.
So the biggest surprise for me is just how we've become a community, and we do the autism walk every year. And when I first started here, I think there were maybe 4 or 5 of us that went. Last year, I had a group of maybe 45, and it wasn't just all students with autism. It was teachers, it was friends, it was families. So the sense of community here has surprised me.
Students with disabilities have the right to participate in similar classes and programs as their typical peers. They can be productive members of the school community and can exceed expectations when provided ongoing opportunities to learn. The integration experience we provide our students is vital in the overall success of the individual. There are programs now in many of our schools, and we are working on implementing more to make sure that all students are included, because our schools are for all children.
They're going to have a curriculum that's going to teach them something. LAUSD has done a fantastic job with the curriculum, developing a curriculum for these guys that's standards-based. We're giving them a breadth of knowledge that you know, and a depth that they need to have, and they legally should have.
Integration opportunities should be available in every school. However, that is not the case. It is important to understand what integration is and how integration benefits all students and families. Let's start by understanding what integration means. Integration is the term used to describe a student with disabilities who is meaningfully integrated into the general education setting for part of their day with supports provided. General and special educators work together to plan instruction for the individual that is simplified to address individual goals, but continues to address core concepts taught in the general education classroom. In an integration model, students will be placed in specialized programs that would best provide for their overall needs, while still affording them the opportunity to have the full school experience and interact with same-age peers, which is very important for them in developing social skills that they will need throughout their lifetime. Children learn a lot of their behaviors by watching and learning from those around them. This is true for all children. Many students observe and see how others interact and behave in a classroom. It gives them a perspective that they would not otherwise have if not given the opportunity to learn from others.
She was fully integrated starting in 4th grade, and then again through middle school she was. So the big difference at Chatsworth High School is she is enrolled in a special day class but integrated into the regular population for various classes when appropriate. Computer class, there's been a film class, art, music. At this age, what works best is electives. Computer, although it was challenging, it was great. She loved it. Some of the benefits of integration at Chatsworth, and especially at this age, has been the independence that Allison has gained. She wants to do things on her own. Her peers have been role models. She wants to be a teenager. She wants to be a high school student. She does want to be friends with people in her class. She tries, and she loves her electives. I hate to say almost more than her special ed classes. She loves going to them. She doesn't want to miss them. It's been very beneficial for that reason. She's learned things that she wouldn't have a chance to learn in the special ed class. There's just been a lot of benefits.
Integration does not only benefit students with disabilities, but typical peers learn a lot too. Let's hear what some parents, teachers, and students think about the benefits for typical peers.
But what I found was that when she came and she talked to the students about students with autism and their needs, and we asked for volunteers, we had an overwhelming amount of students who wanted to volunteer and were willing to give up their recess and lunch on a daily basis all year long. Well, during recess, they go and they volunteer, and she kind of trains them on how to help the students with autism, to communicate with them or to help them on the tricycle or little things like that. So one of the biggest surprises is just the willingness for students, and not just the acceptance, but just, they're very nurturing towards the other children, and it helps them understand if they can see them growing up, or when they work with them when they're preschoolers or 4 years old, and understand that the student that's sitting in our class was one of these preschoolers that they or somebody was volunteering with. So I think, I would say just that they're so willing. They have such a good heart, the kids do.
And again, at the high school age here at Chatsworth, I think a lot of these students have never had close interaction with a disabled student. And because I have my own kids, and I see their friends are almost afraid of the mental disability, and they don't quite know how to react. And the friendships, although they're not outside of school, the friendships she makes in school in these classes, I think, is mutually beneficial. The students in the film class, for example, she comes home and she talks about her group and how wonderful they are. They give her their phone number and she can text them. It's an experience, I think, for both of them that they'll never forget.
The compassion, the just learning how to work with all different types of students, basically. And it's been great for my daughter just to see that these kids coming in, and sometimes she gets to work with them once in a while. And yeah, it's a neat experience for everyone. That was always one of the positive things about this school that I'm really proud of, on the excellent job that they're doing, and that these kids do have that chance to get mainstreamed in.
Having the opportunity to learn from the unique differences of others has changed their outlook on life and how they view others, and will help shape what kind of adult they are going to grow into. Not only are our schools for all children, but our world is for all people. And as these kids grow up, understanding from both groups will benefit all of us.
But the fact that it's young kids, they're able to see this universe of ability as well as diversity is going to make it just a matter of fact when they grow up. And it's not going to be such a big deal, which is, I think, society's biggest thing is when you start out young, you know, letting a kid know what's normal or what's typical. That's how the kid will see the world as they grow up. So yeah, it's very, very good to have that here.
Are integration experiences easy to create and maintain? Not always, given the unique needs of the individual. However, if there are proper supports in place and everyone understands their role in making this happen, integration can be wonderful for all involved. General education teachers may not have the experience or understand how to deal with students with special needs. As a parent, you need to communicate with all teachers and staff who will be in contact with your child on a regular basis. It will make the transition easier for your child and his or her school to meet your child's needs. This communication needs to take place with the special education teacher, the general education teacher, and any other staff that has direct contact with your child on a regular basis. The more information and communication you provide for those directly involved with your child, the better. The special education teacher, general education teacher, and the rest of the school staff should take an active role in support and education, and you as a parent need to work to make sure that what your child is learning at school carries over into the home environment. It is important that your school promotes good communication to parents so you can help your child continue to grow with his or her peers as much as possible by continuing to reinforce what they are learning at school. A collaborative approach is also necessary to support the integration experience for your child. Teachers, staff, and parents must communicate to ensure information is shared. For example, what are the needs? What are some things to expect? How should certain behaviors be dealt with? Etc. For parents, communicating this type of information to your child's teacher will make the transition much easier for the student, teacher, and for you as well, because you will know that your school is aware of your child's needs and has the information to properly care for your child. You, as a parent, should know what and how your child is being taught in all environments. This will reinforce the generalization of skills taught at school into the home, such as social skills, functional reading, writing, and mathematics. Being an involved parent will help make the transition that much easier for all. As an involved parent, you may have some fears or concerns about what the other kids will think and about how they will treat your child. These concerns are normal. However, when integration is planned for, roles of staff are defined, and the acceptance of differences is emphasized, success will occur.
Well, I get kids that come back from drama all excited because they just learned a new, the faces of what's happy, what's sad, and they can do that. And just being able to make connections with their peers or their general ed peers, being able to make friends with them, talk with them. So those are definitely positives. You know, just being able to see them in the hallway and they say, "Hi, Justin," or "Hi, Brian," is a great thing for them. And they'll talk about that. Because a lot of people think, oh, well, what are those kids going to be able to do? But when they do go in there and those expectations are shattered, and they actually do see really good results, that's always fun to see, just if they get the lesson or they're starting to understand something. We had a student who was really nervous about going to drama, and eventually over the weeks he really got excited about it. So that's good news to me.
For example, at many schools, children become curious and open to the world around them. Many times, once the other children understand what is going on with the child, they become helpers. They may prompt him or her to focus on a task when sitting with them in class, help them in group discussions, or help your child learn to ride a tricycle. They feel good about themselves for helping, and it builds their self-esteem, and they want to help more. Many students choose to use their recess or lunch breaks to help some of the younger kids learn to play games, do art, practice skills such as counting or riding tricycles. They develop friendships and have play dates and get food together at the mall. Do you have lots of friends?
Yeah.
Do you know some of their names?
Mia. Who? Mia.
Malia?
Yeah.
And? Who else?
Annie.
Andy?
Yeah.
Who else?
Annie. Anna. Isabella. Yes, you like Isabella.
One of the best stories I had is the mother came to me at an open house and she had tears in her eyes and she goes, I was at the mall the other day and 3 or 4 girls came up to my daughter and gave him a big hug and said, oh my God, it's so good to see you, and everything, and they had lunch together. And she goes, that's never happened in her life. She's never had the simple friendships. That to me is where the success lies.
These are experiences that you and your child would not be able to have if you were to decide to shelter your child from the opportunities the program provides to you and your family.
And there was another occasion we were in Ralph's, like in the grocery store, and I thought, and the little guy, the grown-up, the father said, hi, Shy. And I thought, okay. Do you work at my son's school? Because I had never seen him before. And he said, actually, no, my daughter goes to Shy's school. And Shy goes into her classroom sometime. And I automatically knew it was like the mainstreaming, because I know he does at least half of his day mainstreaming. And I said, oh, really? And he said, yes, and my daughter always speaks very highly of Shy. And I was so proud, and I thought, yes, thank you, Lord.
Okay, well, those are small kids. What about my 14-year-old entering a high school situation? Well, let's hear what some of the high school students have to say.
My first thoughts were, to be honest, I thought this would be a little awkward, a little different, but I have an auntie who has special needs, so I really have a big heart for them. But other than that, we got a little comfortable with them. It was pretty cool, I actually like them. They're just like us.
It completely changed my look on everything. Like, I don't judge people on how they look anymore at all.
This type of experience is what your child will need to have to live in the real world. They will learn and develop social skills.
He's grown so much. And I know because I hear it from the medical professionals who see him. They just are amazed at how much his growth has been. So for us as a family, it's incredible because I had services 6 days a week to help me deal with him. And now we're at home and, I have a babysitter who comes in and helps me from time to time, especially with his homework. But other than that, he doesn't need services really at home at all anymore. So it's really wonderful. He's really a true miracle. It's a real success story for Bryden.
One of the things that I think that would be really, that helps the special ed students is that they're developing a skill set so they can contribute back to society. One of the problems sometimes is with special, the truth of it is a lot of kids don't have jobs afterwards. Well, at least we are giving them a skill set so they can have a job. And we work with, there's a part of the IEP which governs their education called the ITP, which is the transitional plan. So we're developing a game plan to get them out after they're finished with their time at LAUSD to go out and really do something with their lives.
Our children will grow up and be living in the world with everyone else. Wouldn't it be easier and less stressful if they already knew what to expect? On the same note, isn't letting typical peers understand your child's special needs by sitting next to them in class one of the best ways to inspire a world of acceptance and knowledge that your child can do so many things? They just might need a little help. And let's face it, don't we all sometimes need a little help? For more information, please contact